Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian report for the 22nd of October, starting with the ASX on the daily chart here. I believe that we're working through a triangle pattern, but it's not totally clear because I can pretty much count 5 waves in this move down through here, but it would also be counted as an A and a B and a C wave here, but I've always thought it counted better as 5 waves, but it could be 3 waves. This one up through here can be counted as 3, this one can be counted as 3, this move here can be counted as 3, and the move down through here is just overlap the top of this high here. So if we were counting this as wave 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here, well then we've had that overlap here. So the D to E here, we'll be looking at 3 waves as an A and a B and a C wave here. Let's go in and have a look at that on the 4-hour chart and start to drill into that. So I thought we may have had a low in here, but we got one more low before we started to push a little bit higher. So we've got overlapping wave structures here, so we won't call that wave 4 now, and we can remove this here now. And in this case we're looking for a move back up into wave B here to the 50-60% retracement level, which is around 6,700. It doesn't have to go to that particular point, but it's just a place that we can work with a little bit. We should be looking at 3 waves to the upside. So let's go in and investigate this move here. Once it does get to this point here though, then we can expect it to move down here in 5 waves to this area through here. If this level here becomes support, the 6,700 becomes a nice tested support, well then I've got the count wrong, and then we'll be looking to go long at that particular point. So let's go to the hourly chart and just have a look at that. So as I mentioned, we're looking at this as the low yesterday, so that wasn't the case. We got one more low in here, so I'll just move that text to this particular point here. But we've been triggered long above here where we wanted to be, and also along here. You may have gotten a better entry in here on this high here. We can look at that on the tick chart in a moment. So with this move here, we're expecting it to move up into this space here, but we always need to be mindful when we're looking at counter trend rallies. In this move through here so far, this one here, labeled at wave A here, it tends to be in just in 3 waves here. And then the B wave is in 3 waves, which is fine, and we're looking at 5 waves here. So I mean, it is possible
unless it's done. Really? Just holding up some plates.
Possible to have this placed here. The other way to look at this perhaps is to look at this as wave A. I mean, it can be counted in different ways here. This is the sort of frustrating part here. So we could end up looking like this here. I'm not too sure, but I just have to count it as I see it so far. So when I go to the tick chart here, just to show you, so the move up through here, this counts here as 5 waves in this little move here, and then we move back here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this is the high here. So we've only got 3 waves to this particular point, and then an A and a B and a C wave here. Because there's 3 waves here, it makes all of this move here to the upside corrective. We could get 5 waves if we put this one here though, but it is lower, so I'm not keen on that. So I'll just leave it there for the time being. And then the move up through here, we can count this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then looking at wave 5 coming into this space here. So we're still short from this target area up here, so we need to be a little bit mindful what we do here at this particular point. Like I said, all of this here may just be the A wave. If I just copy this for a second, I'm just exploring possibilities now with this. So this move up through here counts as as three waves up to this particular point here. But what we could do at this point too is also look at this here as, we know that it's, I know that it's in three moves here. I'll just show you on the this is 20 tick chart here. So we've got 5 here, back here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, an A and a B and a C wave for the B wave, and down for the C wave here. So having 3 waves here is really quite important, because it tells us all of this, whatever happens in this space and as we go, is going to be corrective. So I feel like the triangle is the right call here. What I'm unsure about this here is how this is going to play out here in this instance here. So I'll just remove these here. I mean, there is 5 little waves up here, so this is where we really got to be mindful about that. I mean, that can be wave A in here. Tuesday mornings tends to be profit taking in the morning, and then the trend resuming in the afternoon. So we could get something like this here. If I just take this here and look at this, the 50-60% retracement level from, I'm just taking this one here. I mean, technically I should take it from, that low there, but so it can move back into this space here in 3 waves as well. I mean, it's important because we've got long trades in here. That's what I'm thinking, but we haven't reached our target up here just yet. So that's what's sort of haunting me a little bit. That's the other pattern that it can make here to get us up there. I don't know. So we've either got this pattern, or we've got, I'll copy this here, and we've got our C wave in place here already. I'm not sure. One of the good things about here though is that we're with the levels here, we've got group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80, and the market at the moment is trying to get into this group 2 zone here. And if it does, then then we're on our way. The first step, of course, is to get to 65, and if the 72 becomes the support, then we know that we're going to go higher from that point. But the orange line, the 72 here, is the critical one that would be looking for to get support on, to tell us that we're going to be going higher. So it's going to be a little bit sort of nerve-wracking in this space here. We'll see what the cash do. The banks, the US banks, were leading the market higher last night, so we can look to our banks to do the same a little bit, and that might just get us across the line and get us into group 2 here. Currently we've got our stop here at the moment. I think we should leave it there for the time being and just see how this sort of reacts from this point here. This little sort of 5-wave structure here, if we take this low and this high here as I had it before, so the 50-60% retracement level is on this 6650 here. So yeah, what to do. Let's just normally the on the futures market, on the opening, the morning squeeze takes about sort of anywhere from about sort of 15 to 18 minutes to push out, and then the trend can sort of resume at that point. So you've got to get past that squeeze there. I mean, it wouldn't be such a silly idea to take part profit here to reduce some of the exposure that we have here. So that would be one way out here. Just taking part profit at this particular point here. and then build back in if you can see the market getting support here. So normally we can look for Wednesday. I mean, Tuesday is normally like down a little bit and then up there, and then Wednesday is more of a deeper move down and then a high here, and Thursday normally opens a bit, sort of jumps up and opens a bit higher, and then you got your bear day on the Thursday. That's the way that it happens. But getting through all of this here, Wednesday and Thursday, is really a bit tricky. These are the days that take your stops out. So perhaps look to take some profit today too. If you don't take it here and everything seems to be supportive here, then look to take some up here, because what we'll be doing in the long run here, if I'm wrong with this count and we don't, I mean, we will react from here anyway, but if we do find support on the 6-7 here, then we'll be going long from that point. But based on this first little move here, we've only got 3 waves here, so I am really concerned about, you know, how far we go to the upside on all of this. Just have a look at Hong Kong and India now. So with Hong Kong here, we'd counted 5 waves up through to here, and we're looking for a an ABC correction to come in from this high here, an A and a B and a C wave here. So looking at this as the high here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, I think that's just the A wave here. So an A wave here. I'm not sure if that's the B wave here, or we're going to get the B wave up at this point here and then the C wave coming down through here. So in terms of long trades, we know that we're going to take that high out here, but I think that we're going to also just wait for the second high to come into play here. So not to take that high out here, but wait for the second high to come in, because we don't have support on this level here, the 26,800. If we get the first high above the level, it may even be a little bit higher than this one here, but we need to wait for it. And once we've got it, then we can bring this down on top of it here, and that way we'll get a better entry at that point. And even if this drops down through to here, then we'll look for entries further down through here in different ways. So yeah, just be a little bit careful there. I'll just have a little look at that there on the tick chart to see if we can see into that move here. So where are we? Just it does look like we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to this particular point here. So, I mean, it looks like it wants to go higher, but it's past the 61.8%. So maybe that's not 5 waves there, but it certainly sort of looks like it, doesn't it? I don't know. We'll still wait. This is not this one. This 8 here is the important number. 8's a profit-taking number where we see 8. So let's just allow that to play out there. And if 8 becomes support, then we can move up from that point. But we've got 5 waves here, so we'll end up getting 5 waves over here. And here we've got wave 1 so far, wave 2 here, then 1 and 2 here. We're going up for the 3rd wave here. The 4th wave is pulling back. We'll have the 5th wave to go up here. But even when we get up to there, that will only be the top of the 3rd wave here. So 1 and 2 and 3 here, and then 4 and then 5, giving us our first high above the level, and then an ABC from that point. So it should still going to take us high above this one. Anyway, we'll just have to wait. We have to wait for a move like this to occur here and to see if it falls away again at that point. The Indian market is still on track to move higher after this wave 4 here, though. We were talking yesterday about the move coming from wave 3 down to wave 4. We did have a little jump on the opening and a move down, but we should still see a move down here further before seeing a move up here higher. So I'm still just going to wait for this, and yes, we can buy back at this particular point here, and as I mentioned yesterday, the 38.2% retracement level for this is from here to here, which is on the 11,500. So we can buy down here, but also before we do that, I want to have a look at the structure here to see how complicated it's going to get as well here, because normally ones and twos, they're all really quite simple, and then when we get past the trend part, the wave fours start to get a bit more complicated at that stage, especially if these are sharp and simple. Then these are going to be sideways and complex here, this wave 4 and this wave 4. So we'll just see, but we should be able to buy somewhere built up building trades in at this particular point here. So nothing to do here just yet, but if we make a new high here, then also go long because I've made a mistake at that point. Alrighty, cheers, thanks for tuning in.
Report unless it's done.
Really?
Just holding up some floats.